Hello chickies! Before I get into this video, I want to say I'm getting over a cold, so I do sound like a little nasally and a little stuffy and gross, but we're gonna try and deal with it. But the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to just come on camera and talk to you guys about how I've been feeling lately. You guys might have been able to tell from my lack of YouTube posting and my lack of like Tina posting and kind of just like my way of speaking sometimes on my social platforms that something has been off with me the past couple months. It's been about like 2-3 months now that I've been like kind of struggling with things, and I'll get into it. But yeah, so I'm simply here to just talk to you guys about what has been going on in my life. I feel like this is just something that I want to share with you guys, and I feel like you guys should know what's going on in my head so you can get a better understanding for I guess just where I come with some things and where I stand right now as a person. So obviously this isn't your typical funny, you know, high energy beauty chickie video. It's a lot more chill and a lot more kind of just like, I don't want to make it like a serious video, but like, you know, it is a little more like, it's not very like comedic. I'm not gonna say that this video is super serious, but more so say that I feel it's important to share with you guys, and some of you guys will probably want to hear this stuff, some of you don't really care, but I'm going to share anyways with you guys what has been going on in my mind, and maybe it'll help you guys. So I'm not gonna do a cute like give this video a thumbs up intro or anything like that. I'm going to really just like hop right into it. So I'm going to just start off by saying that the past like 2 to 3 months really have been basically like hell on earth for me. Basically the premise of this like whole video is that the last like 2 to 3 months I have been struggling with my mental health probably more than like I ever have before. And there's a lot of things that play into this and a lot of things that I'm going to talk about. So I'm just gonna kind of go one by one, random order, whatever. So you guys know that I am a college student, and basically this past semester, friggin' spring 2019 semester was the hardest semester that I have had to date. It took a huge toll on my life, my social life, the way I live my life, and my head and my mental health, and it really just made me like miserable. And because my mental health was already kind of like getting worse, everything else started getting worse for me within like my body and my health. I started to become like severely dehydrated, and that was really weird for me because you guys know I'm like an advocate for drinking water. I drink water all the time, but because I was like so distracted with other things, I wasn't like staying hydrated enough, and it was causing me to be like super run down. I was relying on like 4 cups of coffee a day. I started breaking out in acne, which I literally turned 20 like next week. So me breaking out in acne in my 20s is like, what? And usually like I'm pretty good. I don't really like get acne. I have had a history with cystic acne only on my chin area, but I was getting so stressed out, which I'll get into the stress in a minute, but I was getting so stressed out and I wasn't, you know, keeping up my health that I literally started to break out like uncontrollably, and there was nothing I could do to fix it. Luckily, I did clear up a lot of my face, shout out Clarity Cleanser, but it took time and I'm still struggling with my chin a little bit. I actually had to go to the dermatologist the other day and get some cortisone shots in my chin, and when I go to the dermatologist and I get cortisone shots in my chin, that's when you know shit's bad. And even my dermatologist said, she was like, it looks like you're very like stressed out. Like I literally look like a stressed out person when you meet me, and it's because I am. And she said, she's like being super stressed. She's like, especially with what you do, because she knows what I do with YouTube and the traveling and everything. She's like, that definitely 100% plays a role into you breaking out, because you know, you're stressed out, you break out in stress acne, and then also you're traveling. The traveling makes it worse, and then you don't keep up on your skincare routine 24/7 because you're all over the place, and yeah. Anyways, enough about the pimples. Moving on. Another thing is that because of everything going on, I was eating so much junk food because Postmates in New York and Uber Eats and Seamless are just too accessible. So I was literally not making any healthy meals. I did not have the energy to get up and cook anything for myself. So I was literally Postmating food like every single day, getting things like Shake Shack and Popeyes and all this like stuff that just is not good for my body. I also have been experiencing an extreme lack of sleep. Like, it's ridiculous. You guys probably know if you follow me on Twitter, I like do not sleep. It's bad. I'm not gonna say like I have insomnia or anything because it's not like I will not sleep at all. It's just that at nighttime, like, I struggle to fall asleep so bad because of all this like stuff going through my mind and all these stressors and all this stuff, and it gets so bad to the point sometimes where I will literally lay in bed for like 4 hours, and the only time I will finally be able to force myself to sleep is when the sun is coming up and my room is daylight again. Like, literally the past like 4 or 5 nights especially have been like super bad because I've literally been going to bed at like 5:30 a.m. when the sun is rising and my room is getting sun. And then, like I mentioned before, on top of everything, I was just experiencing extreme major stress 24/7 because of everything I mentioned. Stressed because I couldn't sleep, stressed because of what I was eating, stressed because of my acne on my face, stressed because of school, stressed with YouTube. Like, it was ridiculous. I am a 24/7 stressed out person, always have to do something, always doing something, always stressed out. So on top of everything, like I kind of mentioned, I was just so stressed out where I was also majorly stressing out about posting on both YouTube and on the Tina Instagram. For me, because of all the other things I had going on and all the stress, it seemed as if posting on YouTube and posting on Tina started to feel more like a chore for me rather than it did a hobby, which is terrible. I started YouTube because I love making videos. I love making content. I love sharing it with the world and sharing it with you guys and hearing your responses. And my favorite thing ever is when I upload a video and you guys come back to me and you tell me that, you know, it made you laugh, it made you happy, you know, you learned something from it. Like, I did not start YouTube because I wanted to make a career out of it. The career kind of just happened, of course, because that's just what happens when you grow on YouTube. But never have I ever wanted YouTube to become a chore for me. Like, it started to get to the point where I was so stressed out about everything that I would wake up and I would try to just force myself to film a video, and when I try to force myself to film a video, the video always ends up being so shitty because I look miserable in it and I don't put my all into the video, and it's just like not a good situation. Like, I want to be able to wake up and be like, yay, ready to film a YouTube video, excited to film a YouTube video. I don't want to have to wake up and be like, oh, I gotta film a video today. And that's what I've been feeling like because I was so stressed out about everything. Like, I want to go back to the girl who is waking up every day and, you know, excited to film a YouTube video. I'm getting so emotional now. I'm not gonna cry in this. I'm not going to do it. But like, I just want to be able to wake up and be so excited to film a YouTube video again and not have to wake up and feel super drowsy and, you know, be like, oh, I gotta film. Like, I never want to have to feel pressured to film videos, and it just like has sucked that is literally how I felt for the past few months, and that's literally the main cause of me missing uploads and not uploading, because I would force myself to film a video that I really didn't want to, and then I would be in the middle of editing it and I would realize that I just look like shit and I sound like shit and it's just a very drab video, and I just would end up trashing the entire thing and saying adios to it. I literally come home from school and I'd be so exhausted, but I would force myself to film a YouTube video and it'd be so half-assed. And then all I'd want to do after filming that YouTube video is remove all my makeup and crawl right back in my bed and just go to sleep and cry, basically. Like I said before, also with the dermatologist, you guys know that I travel a lot, so in addition to all the stress that I had going on, I travel a lot, which really does not help. So my mental health was already kind of like going really downhill, and then the traveling was just really affecting my physical health. Airplanes do affect your health so much, especially when you're traveling on them frequently, because you're literally in this like flying metal tube, you know, thousands and thousands of feet in the air, and you're just recycling everyone's oxygen. There's no fresh air, and you're just sitting in a chair for hours. And I go between New York and LA a lot for work. You guys know that. I go to LA and I'll go there and I'll get shit done, and then I'll come back to New York, and that's like an every weekend or every other weekend thing for me. So it's like every other weekend or every weekend I am literally sitting in a super congested plane for like 10 to 11 hours total round trip. So because my mental health was already pretty bad because of everything, and then my physical health started to get really bad, I started to become super judgmental of myself and just super self-conscious, and I was just so worried about how people would, you know, see me and judge me, and it just started really getting to my head. I started to just not feel as pretty as I once felt before. I didn't feel as physically fit or comfortable in my body, despite literally going to SoulCycle like every day of my life because I fucking love SoulCycle. I just simply felt like I was not good enough for anyone or anything anymore. So now that we got all of that out of the way of how I've been feeling over the past few months, I'm going to tell you guys a little story that plays right in hand with this about just the other week, where I finally had my biggest meltdown yet. So I've had like little breakdowns to myself, but I'm usually a person that kind of keeps everything to myself, and I don't really tell anybody about how I'm truly feeling, and that's a really toxic trait of mine. But like I'm just always a person that's like, I'll figure it out on my own, I'll resolve it on my own. But about 3 weeks ago is when I finally just like had my biggest breakdown yet. So it all started when I was getting out of class, and my mom sent me a very, very simple text message. All the text that my mom sent me was her asking if I was okay because I seemed very stressed lately. And something just triggered something in my mind, and it was my biggest breakdown yet, and I literally just text her back and I say, like literally just like 3 words. I was just like, I am terrible. But immediately after I sent her that message, I ended up crying my eyes out and just spilling my entire guts to my mother via text message. Literally just texting my mother paragraphs about why I felt like the most ass in the land lately. And this was a first for me because, like I said before, I keep everything to myself. So not once have I ever mentioned all of this mental health stuff that I've been struggling with to my parents. Not once have I really mentioned it to my friends. I haven't really talked to my boyfriend about it. Like, haven't talked to other family members about it. Like, I just kind of like kept it to myself and never really told people how I truly felt. Like, I do recall like some like little times where I was like talking to like Amanda and Raquel, who are my 2 best friends, and I would just feel like I'm kind of in this like gutter right now in my head, but I never really expressed everything of how I've been feeling to them. So expressing all this stuff so openly through text message to my mom was like big for me. So about like an hour or 2 later, my dad texts me assuming that he saw my mom's messages, well, my messages to my mom, and he texts me and he's like, call me. So I call him, I go into a coffee shop and I call my dad, and I spent about 2 hours in this coffee shop talking to my dad on the phone. And I really just explained everything to him. Like, I spilled my guts to my mom over text message. I explained it all to my dad on the phone, and I was able to go into more detail with my dad on the phone because, you know, you can't put all the details in text. And he really did help me kind of sort my mind and figure out my priorities and just helped me through it. And I immediately, after speaking to him on the phone, felt like 10 times better. He basically just helped me, like I said, sort my mind, prioritize things, and basically helped me figure out what I want to do and what I need to do in order to better myself and better both my mental health and my physical health, starting with my mental health. Because if your mental health isn't right, you really can't get your physical health right. So, you know, they go hand in hand. So right after I got off the phone with my dad, had a really great talk with him, I called my manager and I talked to my manager on the phone about it, and then I called my boyfriend, told him all about it, and then I went over to my best friend's dorm room. Sorry, there's like a truck passing. Went over to Amanda and Raquel's dorm room and told them about everything, and me just being able to finally have more of a clear head, because my head was so cloudy, just being able to clear my head a little bit and figure out what I want to do and what like are my priorities and how I can better myself and my mental health and everything, and then, you know, just telling everybody that, you know, I love and care about everything that was going on felt like such a like relief for me, sorry. And everybody gave me different pieces of advice, or, you know, their little 2 cents into what's going on in my life and, you know, how they could help or what they think, you know, I should do, or like all these things. And, you know, it's like the little things that people were just kind of giving me advice and everything from, you know, everybody that I love and care about really helped me even more. Even if it was just like a little thing, you know, like from a friend that texts me like, you got this, you know, you're a freaking boss lady, like, you know, the little things really kind of just like started to help me. So that day where I talked to my dad on the phone and then I talked to literally everybody else after, I went home and I already felt like 10 times better. And that was solely just from speaking to the people that I love and care about my situation. So moving along, I finished school the other week, and then, as you guys probably know from my social, I went on like a little vacay to Hawaii, which really helped me clear my mind when I was there, because I wasn't focusing on working on anything. I wasn't focused on school. I was really just living in the moment, spending it with the people I love and care about, and it was great. And of course, going to Hawaii, coming back to New York, and all the traveling and the temperature change and everything got me sick. So that is why I'm here sick, still recovering. But I already feel just a lot less stressed, especially now that I am on camera and I am talking to you chickies about this situation, because this is really like the last thing I feel I need to do in order to take my journey of getting better and just accelerating it. Like, you know, I was like, I could talk to, you know, my parents, I could talk to my friends, I could talk to my boyfriend, I could talk to everybody, and they all helped me out so much. But you guys are just such a huge part of my life that I feel like there's no way that I could just pick my camera up and just start recording normal YouTube videos again and uploading them, that I really needed to film this sit down talk video and tell you guys what has been going on. I really do want to create content and create YouTube videos for you guys, but I just have not been in the right mindset. But now that I am on my journey to, you know, my better self, I feel more than ready now to create the content for you guys. Now I just finally have some real time to just relax and reflect and hop back into doing what I love most, which is creating videos. If you asked me 3 weeks ago how I was doing, I would have 100% told you that I was not doing okay. But now I'm still not 100%, but I am on the journey to 100%. And your overwhelming love and support, the Chickee community right here, is going to help me immensely get to that 100%. So thank you guys so much for kind of sticking with me through all of my shit that's been going on in my life, all my stressors, everything, because every day, whether I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, if I am interacting with you guys, that is when I am my happiest. But thank you guys for watching and listening to this video and listening to my situation, and maybe it was able to help you guys out somehow. Please remember, if you guys are in a time of struggle or you're not doing that well, please make sure you reach out to someone and talk to someone about it. A parent, a friend, a teacher, anybody. You guys could even reach out to me in the DMs. I'm really happy that I have people in my life that love and care about me so much that I was able to talk to them about it, and already start to feel better. So make sure you talk to someone. But with all that being said, I am going to go. I hope you guys got something from this video, or maybe you just listened and you like hearing me talk. But I'm going to go, and I will see you guys in my next regular YouTube video. So with all that being said, ciao ciao chickies. Mwah.